Hello everybody, welcome. This is just want to show you what I see in the charts and what is going on in the stock market action so you can help secure your future, your finances for your future. I know I'm a little early, still have an hour, 2.5 hours till the close, but the stock market was just dropping off there. Felt like it was never going to stop. What I want to point out real quick is the whole time we were doing it, ever since my blue trend line, is we've been putting in a bullish divergence, okay? All the way down, the 5-minute, the hourly, the whole nine had it. So I fully suspect we come back up and test this trend line, 37.57. So don't panic sell now. That's what the majority of this is really panic selling. After you catch a divergence, it's just oversold. You know, people are they're looking at the number going down and you're selling. Okay, well, you need to look at things like this. And this, sorry, I can't point at that without the thing popping up, but it'll let you know that you at least suspect a back test up to this trend line that we drew out. That is a close below 37.57 today is going to be important. Close below to that, that's just going to confirm our further downside to here. Close below this trend line, it's just going to confirm our downside. What we want to see is a back test up to it and a close above it. Okay, this bullish divergence at least says we'll get up to it. Yeah, not only, this is going to be a monthly close for us as well. So if we close negative on a month, just kind of sets us up further for a little bit further downside. If you go into the monthly chart, got to zoom in quite a while. This is us right now, red. If we opened at 37.64 on SPX, okay? So I guess that's the level on here. But if we, a red candle only confirms at least 1 to 2 months further. There's 1 and 2. Okay, we got a major divergence in the monthly, so I don't expect it to recover all the way to the top, 37.60. But yeah, I want to point that out real quick before the day goes on. I don't really. What you need to look forward as it's going down is this trend line. If it breaks this, 36.66 was actually a very good bounce quite a few times. It was a level we couldn't break, up, down, and then we went above it, gapped above it, crashed, and recovered at it. And that was our trend. Now we're just we don't know what to do. 36.66 and then 36.32 are just support levels to watch as it's going down. Possibly buy opportunities, but I don't really see it going further down from here. We just got to watch the charts, everybody. Real quick, the VIX. On a 5-minute, the VIX is going up. Again, watch it. This is how the beginning of the March crash began. 3 weeks of downside as the VIX began 3 weeks of upside. The dollar is catching a bid. That's probably where we're getting our downside. Has been since, we'll say, this morning. We've probably been drifting down since this morning. We aren't necessarily putting in a bullish divergence on the dollar. But again, just in between, bouncing in between here. Eventually this will come to and we'll break one side to the other. We just got to watch this high level. That'll confirm either. Alright, I'm going to pause this and I'll get back to you. Alright, everybody, I am back. End of the day. And here we are. You all know where we are. All the way down here. Alright, I still fully expect this back test going, but I'm gonna have to say this is a confirmation of a downside. Really, I only see it in the SPX, the SPY, not necessarily in the triple Qs or the IWM, but there still is this hourly divergence. Okay, it doesn't have to. The daily has just totally gone down, but just watch that divergence. I suspect that's there for at least a full back test. We don't have to. That's not a for sure thing. As a lot of people are panic selling, the lower and lower it gets, the higher the VIX is getting. The dollar, we'll get to that. The dollar is steadily grinding higher. That's what we're seeing. It's finally taking effect in the market. So maybe it takes a while. We back test the line all the way up here. But I still see it coming. Got some support levels. The 366.66. That is an important one. What we really stopped at was really this island right here, where you get the most tags out of a line, going all the way across right here. 366.66 was important. That's where our drop was. I remember it being over here and people talking about it. Wondering if that was the top, because 666 was the bottom all the way down here, so supposedly. Well, at one point, 2009 crash or something like that. I just remember hearing that. But the second support level is at the bottom of this gap, 36.22. If we go through 36.22, we have another one here, 3600. These are all just different levels. If they tag them, bounce up, and break through them, expect the next one to come. Going over to the SPY, this would be a confirmation of we are at least going down to 35. $355. I mean, that's just the bottom of the trend. That is what I'm expecting. We have a little gap down here for the SPY. Start to get some support levels. We're really at the major one. We have a few tags here. 364, 3,640 in the SPY. I think I remember saying that. There's 360.20. So watch those. Here's the triple Qs. This is what I said about the triple Qs. They aren't necessarily a sell signal yet. Again, these are all hourlies. They do have bullish divergences. Here they're playing out. Now we're just bouncing from a trend line. Okay, back to the Russell. Again, the same thing. Our trend line is really the 200. And 50 moving average is about to cross the 100, which is why we're so far down here. The 20 and the 10 coming down as well. When those break, that will be a for sure confirmation, but we aren't there yet. We could absolutely pop back up and, take off from there. This is a buy the dip market from everything that I've heard. So, say we do drop down here. We're only second days into a correction. We've had corrections before. I mean, this isn't necessarily a correction, but from the 20th, well, that was a day. We're in an hourly chart. Yeah. We've had corrections before, especially all the way up here. Well overextended. This is why everybody says that a crash has been just waiting to happen. This is really the channel from, I think, back in 2002. Crashed here. And here we are getting all the way up here. Well, can you, in the Russell, can you at least suspect 197? I mean, that would be just self-explanatory in my opinion. Again, on the SPY, a lot of people see this one as a sell signal. Of course, if the SPY sells, the Q is going to sell, the Russell's going to sell. One may outperform another in one way or the other, but they will all fall together. Bonds are catching a little slight bid, probably at the last hour. Only because the market's starting to sell off. When the markets sell off, people, you run to bonds. When bonds in the market sell off, people usually run to the dollar. That's kind of what you have been seeing. So let's see what plays out with that. What else do we got? Sorry. No, we got a couple things I wanted to show you. Where's Facebook? Of course it's not on here. I do this every time. I think I get it ready for you guys, and I don't. Alright, Facebook. We have burned through our hourly divergence, and we are just headed down. Headed down, headed down. Look at this one. Like 3 days down in a row. In my opinion, the only thing we can do is come down to 244 and create a daily divergence and hopefully catch a bid from there and go up. That is when I feel like your buy the dippers would step in here, wherever the market is at that time. You know, I would expect the same overall. I wanted to show you Johnson & Johnson. This was a short that I had. I caught a little bit of a upside on it from like here to here, because it burnt through our tag as a convert. So I sold my shorts, I bought long, started making a divergence, sold my longs, and I didn't short enough time to catch this gap. So here I am looking at it just like you guys, but on an hourly chart. All it's doing is coming down to tag this line. Tagged it, came below, and bounced right off of it. Momentum is still going down. Moving averages are coming in. The 100, we stopped right at 100. You can't see the 50 because my alarm is on it. If we come back up and tag the 50, I might just have to reshort it, depending on what our momentum and moving averages look like. But I at least suspect we come back up here off a bounce like that. I don't think we're going to fill this gap. I think you can put that gap behind us, and if the market sells off, it's just going to sell off with it. Nike, a short I pointed out, I can't remember if it was up here or at this line, but we sold off, we tagged this line, and we shot straight up. Here we are. This is just a dead cat bounce in my opinion, and we're coming back down. Momentum's going down with the prices going down, and we're still going down. I think we're coming down to this major trend, long-term trend, or at least the 200, say 122, 114 by the time it gets there if it follows the trend. If it crashes now, it could be 110 and call it a day. But you get what I'm saying, guys. On the daily, we are just headed down. Good one to keep an eye on. Deer. I am short this one. I shorted it at this long trend line. I actually shorted it, yes, at this trend line. Shorted it, bounced, popped, came back down, and now here we are. It popped because you got your nice little hourly divergence. This was in today. Just everyone's panic selling, so it's just driving it down. Momentum's still going up. Gapped early morning, came up, hit your crossing 50 and 100 in a bearish setup. 50 under 100, bounced off of it. Here you are trying to bounce off your 200. I would suspect either back test of this trend or this 50 or 100 and get rejected right back down. So if you want to get into that one, put a line right there. I'd say that'd be a good one. You don't have any divergences otherwise telling me to get out. Feel like it's just going to back test and keep going down. Right along with the market. QCOM, this one had been, no, it didn't put in a divergence. It's just kind of going right along with the same thing, waiting for this, waiting for the 50 to cross the 100 in the hourly. We might bounce up here. That's why I have an alarm. I'm going to add more if it does. But I don't see that happening. Or I don't see it going above this. This is just an add mark. You add this mark and it's coming down to 152, which is the major trend I have for it. Your moving averages are crossing below. It's kind of hard to see, I know, but I'm used to looking at it. Cross below this trend, and there is a major gap right here, which is I'm really interested in. I just want it down to 129. If it goes down to 129, I would suspect the 200 to either be there by that time or to be close. So look out for that one. Microsoft, I can't remember if I told you guys anything, but here's a strong, really horizontal line that it was at. Popped up above it once, maybe twice, wherever you guys want to put it, but here is the top of it. And even on our daily, our momentum, we caught a bid up here. Our momentum is all the way down over here at, we'll just say 190. 190, and all this is divergent highs. Alright, we caught a little bit on this one, but that was just the breakout from this, I think it was 226 was really the major line. So if we can get a back test of 226, I believe, you can short that down to 226. We do have a 5-minute pop, but I kind of feel like that's what this was. Just gonna burn through it. See the 100 through the 200, the 20. Tried to go through the 50, but we're coming right back down. This is all right. Well, this is on a 5-minute. Go to the hourly. This was about your 226 mark. Got your 20 sloping. Yeah, when your 20 crosses your 50, that's when you know it's going down. And then when your 50 starts moving and crossing everything, that's when you duck for cover. In an hourly, especially a daily, most definitely a daily. Let me hurry up and get through this. I think I got that. PayPal. I don't think I did PayPal yet. I am not in this one. I should be. Where is it? Here we are. You guys, I think I really think if the market sells off here, PayPal, yeah, it's a giant, but it's just going to sell off right with it. It's not really doing anything but playing ping pong in between the two trend lines, the March lows, and a longer trend line I have on it. These are the trend lines I have on it. This red and this green. This is the daily. The 100 and the 200. Yes, the 200 is sloping up, but if the 100 doesn't start sloping up with it, the longest, I see this uptick lasting, dragging up, or whatever you want to call it, lasting till April. It's a long time, but it only lasts to a certain point. Stocks don't go up forever. Alright, if you would have shorted right here at this blue blue trend, the top of our trend. You could have drew one even, better yourself and bought it all the way up here. Or all the way up here. But if you would have shorted it here, you'd be down quite a few percentage. And that's just watching the trend alone. But here we are, back testing this black one. If we break this black one, this 20 crosses this 50, this black line has really become the 50. So if the 20 crosses the 50, we're just coming down to the 100. Around 214, 215, 216, whenever we get there. And going to test this major trend, which is going to be somewhere around your 200 by the time it gets there. And that's just going to set us even further down. I believe this black horizontal line was a triple bottom, which set this in motion. So I kind of suspect went down to 173 after there's a gap. Ooh, there's really a gap right here. If you want to go down even further than that, it's hard to do on a daily. We can look all the way down to that. But all right, guys, I'm going to get this out there. Good luck. Have a good day.